is dusting up, so they're at full power when they're taking off. They have a normal rotation. What doesn't happen after takeoff is the gear never comes up, and that would happen about 50 to 100 feet. The pilot flying would request the gear to be raised. That never happens. The aircraft shortly after that loses lift, and you could lose lift for a number of reasons. It could be a dual power loss. That's, in my mind, the least likely of the occasions, because we can see that the engines are operating fine as they do the takeoff roll. The other would be that something changed the configuration of the wing so that the flaps were not in a position to create that extra lift. If the airplane loses lift while the gear is down at that slow speed, it's going to do exactly what you saw on the video, which is it's going to begin to waddle and descend, and just you're kind of in a power on descent until it impacts the ground.
Now, as people continue to reel under the shock of the Air India 171 plane crash in Ahmedabad, the mammoth task of restoration has already begun. Heavy cranes have been deployed to remove the tail section of the crashed plane, which landed atop the hostel building. During the operation, mortal remains were also recovered from beneath the wreckage. Viral videos have surfaced from the BG Medical College. Now, this was the mess where we did see the aftermath of the crash take place. The MBBS students were having their meals at the time. 4 students lost their lives because of this incident. In this video, fellow students can be seen rushing to the rescue to rescue the injured and all those who were trapped under the debris. Rescue efforts began even before official teams like the fire brigade reached the site. Victims' families are still awaiting the bodies. They need to perform the final rites. DNA sampling still continues. Grief and tears echo through the corridors of Civil Hospital in Ahmedabad. The families are now demanding justice.
मेरा भांजा है, उसकी वाइफ और उसके 2 बच्चे हैं।
कब यहाँ पे आए थे और लंदन लौट रहे थे? लंदन में क्या करते थे? कितने समय से ये लंदन में रहते थे?
ये वहाँ की सिटीजनशिप उनको मिल चुकी थी। 10-12 साल से वो वहीं थे। उनकी जो वाइफ थी वो ब्रिटिश नागरिक की थी वहाँ की, और ये आए थे बकरीद मंगवाने के लिए। जो बकरीद की छुट्टियाँ थी उसलिए आए थे वो ईद के लिए, और ईद के लिए मम्मी से मिले। मम्मी से मिलने के बाद में वो मम्मी की भी जो तबीयत, उनकी हार्ट का प्रॉब्लम की वजह से वो बोले वापस आके मैं आपका इलाज करूँगा, अब छुट्टी कम है इसलिए मैं वापस जा रहा हूँ। तो जिस दिन हादसा था उस दिन की उनकी टिकट मिली, और अहमदाबाद से थी टिकट वो, और अहमदाबाद में जब आए वो रात में ही आए। शाम की दोपहर में फ्लाइट थी सुबह में, और जब ये यहाँ से गए तो पता चला वो प्लेन क्रैश हो गया।
The compensation is not going to bring him back.
I give the money, but give my dad. That's what I'm just saying anyway. But no one is going to give that.
Money is not going to replace the life.
Big catastrophic videos continue to resurface from the devastating Air India 171 plane crash site. In one such video, which has now come to light, there is a woman whose tea stall was in the vicinity of the medical college. In this video, you can very clearly see how she is fleeing from the fire when the plane crashed and erupted into a massive fireball. Her son Akash unfortunately passed away. Take a look at these ground reports.
दादी गया, दादी गया,
तो आपको
दौड़े तो दादी गया, मेरा छोकरा ने लेवा गई ने।
वो फ्लाइट को आते हुए देखा आपने?
नहीं, पायलट नहीं देखा।
नहीं देखा, पीछे से आया?
पीछे से आया,
तो
वो गिरा ने।
हाँ, तब आवाज आई होगी ना?
आवाज बहुत आया, वो अग्नि आ गया, अग्नि आ गया। वो तवाड़ा बोलते हैं, कुछ देखा ही नहीं, बहुत आवाज आ गया।
फिर पूरा आग?
हाँ, पूरा आग।
आपने देखा अपना पूरा आग जल रहा था?
हाँ, देखा, बहुत पब्लिक मरी गई।
टिफिन लेकर उसको मम्मी को खिलाया उसने, तब तलक छोकरा चाय पाई के मम्मी खाटिया है उसके पे सो गया था, और उसकी मम्मी खा के पानी पी रही थी। उसके बाद ऐसा स्पॉट हुआ ना विमान का, धुआं निकलने लगा, तो सब पब्लिक दिखने लगी। तो मैं भी ऑटो में नीचे उतर के देखा, मैंने बोला क्या हुआ। जो विमान का जब पाँकिया ना, वही लड़के पे जाके पड़ा था। दूसरे भी 2 इंसान निकल रहे थे, वो भी 2 भी एक्टिवा पे 2 इंसान थे, लड़की और लड़का था, वो भी जल कर राख हो गया। कॉमा सेंटर के अंदर गया, मैंने बोला साहब जी मेरे को लड़का आया था, तो लड़का तो क्या पोस्ट मार्टम के अंदर चला गया। जैसा ही नाम लिया ना, ऐसा तो मैं चुप ही हो गया। पोस्ट मार्टम के अंदर कब जाता इंसान, मर गया तभी। मैंने बोला अभी मेरी बीवी की समाचार लेने जाओ, बीवी के पास जिया, बीवी के पास जिया तो बोला अच्छा लगा थोड़ा, डॉक्टर ने बोला 50% थोड़ा जल चुका है।
आकाश हैं जो 15 साल के हैं और बताया जा रहा है कि एक जहां पास में ही एक होटल में जहां पर यह हादसा हुआ वहां पर एक चाय की टपरी पे वो काम कर रहे थे और उस समय ये प्लेन क्रैश हुआ और उसी समय उनकी मौत हो गई, जबकि इनकी मां भी वहीं पर थी और वो उस वक्त अभी फिलहाल अस्पताल में है, एडमिटेड हैं, आईसीयू में है, जैसा यहाँ के लोग बता रहे हैं। दादा मैं आपसे बात कर सकती हूँ?
बात करो तो हमारा भाई मारी बात हम बात कर आप बहन जोड़ो बात कर कम हटियो शनिवारी कर वो था
रहने दीजिए कोई बात नहीं।
आपका नाम बात दे तारू नाम तो दे नाम हुआ कल्पेश भाई है, उसका भाई है बड़ा वाला, आकाश के भाई है बड़ा वाला
भाई है। और परिवार में माँ की तबीयत कैसी, कुछ पता चला क्या?
अभी पता चला है, अभी ठीक है। इसके साथ थोड़ा जल गए, हाथ जल गया, गर्दन जल गई है उसकी, बरोबर।
लेकिन सरकार की तरफ से कोई मदद की बात की गई है क्या?
अभी कुछ मिला नहीं, बात नहीं हुई अभी तक, नहीं बात।
आपके परिवार में और कौन कौन है?
मैं, मेरा पापा, मेरी बहन, मेरी मम्मी और मेरा भाई चला गया अभी। मेरा भाई चला गया 5 में से,
दोनों भाई थे।
मेरे भाई चला गया, मेरा भाई चाहिए। मेरे को मेरा भाई चाहिए, मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए।
सरकार से कुछ कहना?
मेरा भाई चाहिए, मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए। मेरा भाई चाहिए मेरे को, मेरे भाई की हालत कैसी है मुझे देखना है, मुझे कोई देखने नहीं जाने देते, कोई नहीं जाने देते मेरे भाई से मिलने के लिए।
आप माँ से मिल पाए?
माँ से नहीं मिल पाए, माँ की तबीयत बरोबर, मेरे भाई से नहीं मिला हुआ अभी। मेरे
सांत्वना रखिए, जरूर थोड़ा सा समय में मिल देंगे शायद। सांत्वना
को अभी मिलना है, मेरे को अभी मिलना है।
Now this big video of the deadly crash, this actually was captured by from the rooftop by a 17-year-old Aryan. Aryan actually had just arrived in the city that very morning from his village, and he was filming the aircraft to show it to his friends how close it was to flying. Now he's been taken to the police station for questioning.
We are right now at Meghnani Nagar, the very place which is adjoining this particular airport. And right now here you can see there are quite a few planes lined up, and this particular video which went viral was shot by a person named Aryan, who's a 17-year-old person who had just come from a village. He didn't know what aeroplanes looked like, and he was excited at seeing them at such close range. That is the reason why he shot that entire video standing right here on this particular terrace. And as the flight took off from the airport, he didn't know that it would crash land, but he was just making a video of an aeroplane which went all the way from here to this particular place where you can see that the aeroplane crashed, and that video became so viral after that of the video of the airplane going down. And then so many lives were lost. But of course, Aryan didn't know at that time when he was making that video that the entire video that he had started shooting would end up in such a way in defining the entire horrific incident that happened 2 days ago. With cameraman Siddesh in Ahmedabad, Vidya for India Today.
नॉर्मली आवाज़ था, उसमें आवाज़ भी था, मतलब ये नहीं था कि प्लेन वाला उसका आवाज़ था। अच्छा। नहीं, और उसका नज़दीकी भी उड़ने का मतलब ऐसे नहीं होता है, घटना घटने से पहले अनुभव होता है कि मतलब ये हो जाएगा, कंट्रोल नहीं होता है, वो अलग था। हाँ, ऊपर नीचे हो रहा था, तो ये बच्चा लोग बोला कि इसे देखो मम्मी ये जहाज़ बहुत नज़दीक से जा रही, इसमें आवाज़ ही नहीं है। तो ये लोग अपना यहाँ से यहाँ आकर के देखने लगा, वो लड़का यहाँ पे खड़ा था, तो बोले यार वीडियो बना, तो बनाने लगा अपना वीडियो। यहाँ से बनाया, तो यहाँ से बनाते बनाते यहाँ तो गया, बस इतना ही दूर में वहाँ पर जाकर क्रैश हो गया।
Now the black box, which is often orange in color for visibility, just in case the plane goes down, now it refers to all the flight data. It is like a recorder, and all the cockpit voice that one can see is recorded in this. These devices, they actually store critical data and audio, and they help in the investigation in case the airplane crashes. Air India's Flight 171's black box has been found. Take a look at this report.
The black box of Air India Flight 171 will reveal what caused the fatal crash. The black box holds vital clues in post-crash investigation, as it not only holds crucial data but is also the only component of the aircraft that can withstand damage. The Air India aircraft was engulfed in 1,000 degrees Celsius inferno after the crash. Despite such extreme conditions, the recovery of the black box points to the advanced engineering that allows these devices to survive catastrophic events. Contrary to their name, black boxes are typically bright orange to aid in quick recovery amid wreckage. They consist of two components: the flight data recorder, which logs technical flight parameters, and the cockpit voice recorder. Together, they help investigators reconstruct the incident using information on what transpired in the aircraft leading to the crash. The recordings from the cockpit unveils details about the emergency mayday call, any automated warnings received, any discussion on mechanical problems, as well as crew coordination efforts. Further, the flight data recorder provides information on the engine performance, control surface positions, and system warnings. Historically, the black box has helped investigators in knowing the causes behind major plane crashes globally, such as the 2015 Germanwings crash. In the 2014 case of disappearance of the Malaysia Airlines flight, the signals that would emanate from the black box were not detected during search operations. In India, the 2020 Kozhikode crash investigation was heavily dependent on these recordings, which helped to know the pilot's decision and runway conditions during the failed landing attempt. The black box will not only reveal the cause of the crash, but also help the aviation industry to improve safety standards. Bureau Report, India Today.
Among the 265 lives that were lost in the deadly strike, there were 10 dedicated crew members and 2 very experienced pilots. Now, all of them were carrying out the duties in the sky on that day. Their families are now grieving in silence, very heavy heart and unanswered questions. Memories are frozen in time, longing for that one final embrace.
Captain Sumit Sabharwal had promised his old father that he will call upon landing in London. As fate would have it, the last words of the pilot of Air India Flight 171 was not to his family in Powai, but to air traffic control, a desperate mayday call before all communication went silent. With 8,200 flying hours under his belt, Captain Sabharwal was in command of AI171, supported by co-pilot Clive Kundar, a first officer with 1,100 hours of flying experience. Both men perished in Thursday's crash. Actor Vikrant Messi, a family friend of Clive Kundar, posted a heartfelt message mourning the loss, calling it a personal tragedy. Among the 10 cabin crew on board was Roshni Songhare, just 27 years of age, from Dombivli. A popular travel influencer, Roshni had turned her passion for aviation into a dream career, a dream tragically cut short. Deepak Pathak, a resident of Badlapur and a loyal Air India employee for the past 11 years, also did not return home. His last message to the family was a simple good morning. Since then, his phone has remained unreachable.
बहुत ज़्यादा करके वो बच्चा था, वो सबसे मन में जो मिलता है वो सब बच्चे से लेके बड़े सबको रिस्पेक्ट से बात करता था, सबसे अच्छा हंसमुख के रहता था और बहुत मन में छुपा था।
दीपक और मैं अच्छे दोस्त थे, लेकिन उसका जो नेचर है एकदम अच्छे दोस्ती, सबके साथ दोस्ती बना के रखना, सबको आवाज देना और अपना ड्यूटी अच्छे से निभाना, वही हिसाब से वो चलता था।
The crash in Ahmedabad reverberated almost 3,000 kilometers away in Manipur, where warring Kukis and Meiteis have been united in grief at losing two of their own, Singson Lamnantham from the Kuki Zo community and 21-year-old Kongbrai Latpam Nantoi Sharma, a Meitei.
कुछ न कुछ तो वो लोग सरकार की तरफ से कुछ न कुछ तो बोलना चाहिए, कुछ न कुछ तो घर के परिवारों का देखभाल करना चाहिए, यही तरीका है। और कुछ क्या, गुजर गया तो गुजर गया, चला गया तो चला गया। मेरे तो सिर्फ 3 बेटियां हैं, पहली काम मिला है वो मेरी बेटी, इसके बाद क्या बोलूं, कुछ बोलने की कोई।
Every crew member on AI171 was serving with pride. They were young and had dreams of taking flight, quite literally. And now, each story is a heartbreaking reminder of the human cost of this crash. Bureau Report, India Today.
On this note, it's a wrap on this bulletin. Thank you for watching India Today. For more news and updates, you can log on to indiatoday.in. You can even download the app. This is me, Aishwarya Paliwal, signing off.
You are watching India Today.
Motorola Razr 60, dangerously cool.
Dangerously cool. Go, stop, go. Playing this game like a tic-tac-toe. Sharp as a razor, the flavor bold. Flip it out, they wanna fold. Keeping them coming.
Motorola Razr 60, dangerously cool.
Hello, Moto.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
watching India Today.
Hello, you're watching India Today and I am Aishwarya Paliwal. Let's start the show with the headlines. Black box has been recovered from the rooftop of the charred student hostel building. The DGCA orders immediate safety audit of Air India's entire Boeing 787 Dreamliner fleet. Air India extends cooperation in the investigation. Aviation Minister all set to address the media shortly. Video of moments after Air India plane crashed into the hostel premises has now gone viral. Medical student rescues those who were trapped under the debris. Another dramatic video shows a woman fleeing from the inferno caused by the plane crash. Prime Minister Modi's first foreign trip post-Operation Sindoor. Prime Minister Modi will be visiting Cyprus, Canada and Croatia, all set to take part in the crucial G7 summit. Israel attacks Iran's main nuclear facility. Iran's most powerful military and nuclear leaders have been killed in this attack. Netanyahu calls Ayatollah's regime as an existential threat. Iran promises there will be painful punishment for this. World leaders have expressed concern over escalating West Asia war. They are calling for restraint. Restraint should come both from Israel and Iran. Benjamin Netanyahu speaks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Prime Ministers of UK, France and Canada, they are now calling on all the parties to exercise maximum restraint. The launch date for EXIM 4 mission, which is carrying Indian astronaut Subhanshu Shukla to the International Space Station, has been rescheduled for the 19th of June. SpaceX says all issues have been addressed. News that's coming in at the moment with regards to the war that is taking place between Iran and Israel. Iran airport has suffered big damage in Israeli airstrikes. On the satellite camera, multiple Iranian planes have been gutted. Iran's Meheradabad airport has been hit hard. Charred fuelages of Iranian jets. The visuals that you are seeing on your screens are the satellite images which have now come in. This is the airport in Iran which has suffered big damage. These images coming in after the Israeli airstrikes. On satellite camera, multiple Iranian planes have now been gutted, and that is what the visuals there are telling us. Iran's Meheradabad airport has been hit hard. Charred fuelages of Iranian jets can be seen. Those are the images that you can see, those charred places that you see. They were the aircrafts that were hit. We have seen how drone strikes have taken place. We are moving now to the big story in our country. The Aviation Minister, Mohan Naidu, is now holding a press conference. Let's listen in.
Mohan Naidu, sir.
So you're not audible.
Honorable Minister of Civil Aviation, Mohan Naidu, sir. Honorable Minister of State for Civil Aviation, Muralidhar Mohol, sir. सेक्रेटरी सिविल एविएशन मिनिस्ट्री के अन्य अधिकारीगण और मेरे मीडिया के साथियों, आज हम 12 जुलाई को हुआ एक दुखद घटना के बारे में एक प्रेस ब्रीफिंग के लिए एकत्रित हुए हैं। मैं इस ब्रीफिंग को शुरू करने से पहले मैं चाहूँगा कि एक मिनट का मौन रखा जाए। इसके लिए आप सब खड़े हो। As you all know, on 12th July, 12th June, Air India Flight number 171, which took off from Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport, crashed soon after it. So, that tragic incident, we are here to give a small brief, and I request Secretary, Minister of Civil Aviation to give a short opening remark.
ये विमान दुर्घटना एयर इंडिया so
is there a mic somewhere here? You might have to be a little
यहाँ पे परसों दिनांक 12 जून 2025 को लगभग 2 बजे के आसपास ये सूचना प्राप्त हुई कि अहमदाबाद से गैटविक लंदन के लिए जाने वाला विमान दुर्घटनाग्रस्त हो गया है। और इसकी विस्तृत जानकारी हमने एटीसी अहमदाबाद के जरिए ली तुरंत, जिसका विवरण मैं देना चाहूँगा आगे के 2 या 3 मिनट में। यह एक AI171 एक शेड्यूल्ड फ्लाइट थी अहमदाबाद से गैटविक के लिए, और इसमें कुल 242 लोग सवार थे, जिसमें 230 यात्री थे, 2 पायलट और 10 क्रू मेंबर्स थे। इस विमान ने दोपहर 1:39 पर टेक ऑफ किया था और कुछ ही सेकंड्स में लगभग 650 फीट की ऊंचाई पर पहुंचने के पश्चात ये सिंक करने लगा, अर्थात ऊंचाई खोने लगा था। 1:39 में पायलट ने एटीसी को, अहमदाबाद एटीसी को, उसने मे डे अर्थात फुल इमरजेंसी की सूचना दी थी। एटीसी के अनुसार जब उसने विमान से संपर्क करने की कोशिश की, उसका कोई उत्तर नहीं मिला। ठीक 1 मिनट के बाद यह विमान हमारे एयरपोर्ट से लगे मेधाणी नगर, जो हवाई अड्डे से लगभग 2 किलोमीटर की दूरी पर स्थित है, यह विमान दुर्घटनाग्रस्त हो गया था। विमान की कप्तान कैप्टन सुमित सबरवाल थे और प्रथम अधिकारी थे क्लाइव सुंदर। जहां तक विमान के पूरे इतिहास की बात है, विमान ने इस दुर्घटना से पहले पेरिस दिल्ली अहमदाबाद सेक्टर की उड़ान बिना किसी घटना के पूरी की थी। उसमें कोई रिपोर्ट नहीं थी। पेरिस से दिल्ली और दिल्ली से अहमदाबाद सेक्टर की उड़ान बिना किसी घटना के पूरी की थी। और दुर्घटना के कारण रनवे को 2:30 बजे 2:30 में इसको बंद कर दिया गया, और उसके बाद सारे प्रोटोकॉल को पूरा करने के बाद 5 बजे से सीमित उड़ानों के लिए अहमदाबाद का रनवे को फिर से शुरू किया गया। घटना 1:40 पे होती है। 3-3.5 घंटे के भीतर हमारे मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ सिविल एविएशन के पूरी टीम, हमारे आदरणीय मंत्री जो सिविल एविएशन विजयवाड़ा में थे एक इंस्पेक्शन के लिए, वहां से डायरेक्टली मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट सिविल एविएशन जो यहाँ पे हम ऑफिस में थे, हम लोग कंट्रोल रूम पहुंचे, और फिर 3-3.5 बजे के आसपास 5:30-6 बजे के आसपास हमारी पूरी की पूरी टीम, जिसमें DGBS, DGCA और चेयरमैन एयरपोर्ट अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया, सीनियर ऑफिसर्स, मैं स्वयं, हम लोग सब लोग वहाँ पे उपस्थित थे, घटनास्थल पर उपस्थित थे। तुरंत एक हमारे यहाँ जो हमारा नियंत्रण कक्ष कंट्रोल रूम जो है 0112461 और 9650391859 उसकी स्थापना की गई, और जिसमें DGCA, BCS ब्यूरो ऑफ सिविल एविएशन सिक्योरिटी, CISF और एयरपोर्ट अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया के, इट्स अ कंबाइंड टीम विच स्टार्टेड फंक्शनिंग ऑलमोस्ट इमीडिएटली। और अहमदाबाद हवाई अड्डे का आपातकालीन नंबर और एयरलाइन का जो हेल्पलाइन नंबर था, उसको भी हम लोगों ने सोशल मीडिया और पीआईबी के जरिए उसको हमने सबके साथ साझा किया। गुजरात सरकार के जो विभिन्न विभाग हैं, पुलिस विभाग है, फायर ब्रिगेड, मेडिकल एंड हेल्थ सर्विसेज ने तुरंत राहत और बचाव कार्य शुरू कर दिया था। घायलों को अस्पताल शिफ्ट किया गया, वहां पे ऑफिसर्स लोग की तैनाती हुई, फायर ब्रिगेड ने वहां पे आग पर तुरंत काबू कर लिया था। कहीं कहीं से धुआं निकल रहा था, छोटी मोटी आग थी, लेकिन 6 बजे तक जब तक हम लोग वहां पे घटनास्थल पर पहुंचे मेधाड़ी नगर में, अहमदाबाद में, तो आग पर करीब करीब पूरी तरीके से काबू कर लिया गया था। तुरंत उसके बाद हमारा जो स्टैंडर्ड ऑपरेटिंग प्रोसीजर के अनुसार हमारा जो एयरक्राफ्ट एक्सीडेंट इन्वेस्टिगेशन ब्यूरो है ने उसी दिन विमान दुर्घटनाओं और घटनाओं की जांच नियम 2017 के तहत के अनुसार जांच शुरू कर दिया गया है और यह एक मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी टीम है और पूरा घटना स्थल को सुरक्षित कर लिया गया है। हमारा फ्लाइट डेटा रिकॉर्डर, जिसको ब्लैक बॉक्स के नाम से भी जाना जाता है, वो मिल गया है। इन्वेस्टिगेशन पूरी तरीके से स्मूथली चल रहा है। जहां तक एआईबी दुर्घटना के कारणों और तकनीकी पहलुओं पर जांच करेगा, एक और हाई लेवल कमेटी का गठन किया गया है, जिसके बारे में सोशल मीडिया में भी हम लोगों ने इस तथ्य को साझा किया है। गृह सचिव की अध्यक्षता में इसमें केंद्र और राज्य सरकार के अधिकारी सम्मिलित हैं। यह कमेटी दुर्घटनाओं के कारणों के साथ साथ भविष्य में एविएशन से सेफ्टी और इसको कैसे एविएशन सेफ्टी को और सुदृढ़ और इसको कैसे मजबूत बनाया जा सके, इसकी अनुशंसा करेगी। I stop here and I'll request Honorable Minister Civil Aviation to address the press.
Last 2 days have been very difficult, especially in the ministry and for everyone else. The accident that has happened near Ahmedabad airport shook the entire nation. And my deepest condolences to all the families who have lost their loved ones in the incident. I have also personally lost my father in a road accident. So to a certain extent, I can understand the pain and anguish that the family members are feeling. And in fact, it was a moment of shock right after we got to know about the incident. But even in that disbelief, I personally rushed to the site to oversee what needs to be done, what support needs to be provided. And that was the attitude of the government of Gujarat also. The attitude was the same from government of India and the other people at the ministry also. And once we rushed to the site, we already saw, this was just within hours of the happening of the incident. So once I arrived at the site, the government of Gujarat already put in the necessary rescue teams. The response teams from all the concerned departments were working on ground actively, trying to rescue whatever is possible, trying to cut down the fire and to move the debris so that the bodies can be sent to the hospital at the earliest. And with the timely response, things were able to move much faster than as was expected after looking at how the crash has happened at the site. And from the ministry, taking utmost seriousness of the incident, the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, which was formed specifically to look into the accidents that happen around aircrafts, was immediately mobilized, and the GO team from the AIB, including 5 members constituting DG AIB, was also immediately rushed to the site to start the investigation process. And since day one, within hours itself, the AIB has started its process of investigation. And yesterday, they have added 2 more members to the investigation, one from the forensics team, one from the medical team. And they would be doing it in future also as necessary. Whichever expert is required, they will be adding them to the investigation. And one important update from the technical investigation, which is happening through the AIB, is the recovery of the black box yesterday around 5 p.m. from the site. The AIB team believes that this decoding of the black box is going to give a in-depth insight into what would have actually happened during the process of the crash or moments before the crash itself. So we are also eagerly waiting for what the results or the report is going to be once the AIB goes through its full investigation. And like I said, taking utmost seriousness of the incident and to further investigate into the incident and to look into all the theories or other information that is going around this incident, we felt it would be much better to have another committee also overlooking into this crash and also the safety. So yesterday I've announced it before only that we are going to form another high-level committee before. And immediately we have constituted the committee also yesterday under the chairmanship of Home Secretary. And like our initial thought, we wanted to have experts in the committee from various sectors and not less than any joint secretary level. So accordingly, we have constituted the committee. We have circulated the order also of the high-level committee which is going to investigate this crash. So like I said, the Home Secretary is going to be the chairman of the committee, Secretary Ministry of Civil Aviation, Additional Secretary from MHA, one representative from the state of Gujarat where the incident actually happened, representative from State Disaster Response Authority, Government of Gujarat, Police Commissioner Ahmedabad, DG Inspection and Safety from the Indian Air Force, DG BCAS, which is the Bureau of Civil Aviation Security, DG DGCA, Special Director from IB, and Director from the Directorate of Forensic Sciences Services. So like you see, the composition of the high-level committee involves people from various backgrounds, and the people we feel who can bring in a lot of expertise and value to the committee which is going to investigate in a holistic way into the incident. And we have put a time limit of 3 months for them to sit down, talk to various stakeholders, and involve and discuss with any other important expert that is necessary as per their investigation. And most of the issues that you feel there need to be answers, the committee is also going to strongly pursue these things and will come up with their report. And on top of that, I would also like to say that we have a very strict safety standards in the country also. And many, including the ICAO, many international organizations have also time and again established that. We do have a very strict protocol, robust protocol, which we follow every time. But even when the incident happened, we also felt that there is a need to do an extended surveillance into the Boeing 787 series. So from the DGCA, we have also given an order to do the extended surveillance for the 787 planes. There are 34 in our Indian aircraft fleet today. I believe that 8 have already been inspected, and in with immediate urgency, all of them are going to be done. And furthermore, as the investigation is going to proceed and the report is going to come, whatever necessary steps are needed to be taken, we are going to ensure that without any hesitation, we are going to improve every necessary thing that is going to come our way to improve the safety. And like I said, we already have a very robust protocol which we continuously follow. What all is required in the future, whenever we have a very important update to give to the media, then we are going to present it to you also. I would request that media also support the investigation. We've also been very considerate of the event that has happened. And in fact, the personal stories of the people who have lost their lives, it's very heart-wrenching to see the individual stories. It's a very difficult time, but I'm sure with the support that the country is giving to the families, the moral support that we are all trying to provide to the families, at least it is going to help them a bit to come out of this difficult time. And we have instructed Air India also to facilitate in the process of assisting the families of the passengers in whatever way is required. The DNA testing is also happening on one side so that the bodies can be identified and be given to the respected families. So the government of Gujarat is coordinating with that. They have been there on the ground since the time of the crash, and they have been facilitating with all the efforts, all the measures that are required from their side. So once the DNA testing is confirmed, the bodies are being given to the respected families. And we are hoping that process also gets finished as soon as possible, but the documentation and the procedure needs to be followed. So according to the time that needs to be taken, we are ensuring that there doesn't be any lapse in the process or the protocol that needs to be followed. So currently we just felt that all the efforts that are being done, especially in the last 48 hours, we wanted to share with the media and through you to the country also. And I would like to reiterate that this was a very tragic incident, very horrific incident for everyone. And day one itself, you've seen that Honorable Home Minister also rushed to the site, the crash site, and then visited the hospital, interacted with the injured there, and also had a detailed review with the Ministry of Civil Aviation, Government of Gujarat, and all the other authorities which were involved. And within 24 hours, Honorable Prime Minister also visited and rushed to the crash site, got a briefing on what and how it happened, and held a very detailed review, went into depth on what needs to be done, how the relief measures or rescue efforts needs to be continued, which has given good guidance to all the efforts that we have been putting from our side also. And with this seriousness only, we are going to conduct the investigation. Any information that is going around this crash, any theory that is going around this crash, everything will be analyzed. And the high-level committee is going to do its own investigation, which is going to be independent of all the other investigations that are going to happen. AIB is going to be the technical side of the investigation, which will be very, very much core to what we are trying to do in finding out what exactly happened. And the high-level committee is also going to meet very soon. On Monday itself, they are going to meet. And they are going to try to finish the process within 3 months to get a consolidated report on this investigation. So it is with these points that I would like to end my press briefing today. No questions. Appropriate time we'll answer the questions. I think we just wanted to give an update.
कुछ opposition के leaders are
No questions. Yes, we will keep giving you all the information. We'll keep giving you all the information.
Sir, medical students.
You just heard the Civil Aviation Minister, Mohan Naidu, who explained that the investigations are now ongoing. The high-level committee, which has now been formed, that high-level committee will now be looking at the investigations. The forensics has been working 24 hours over the last many days, making sure that they are able to retrieve the DNA samples and match them with the family members of all the victims. So that's something that is going on. The black box, very, very critical in crashes, has now been retrieved. The data from the black box, as we speak, is now being analyzed. The government also is looking at the high-level meeting. The first meeting will take place on Monday. And now we'll see within the next 3 months a detailed report, investigative report will be prepared. The government has given all the assistance. And we also saw how the SDRF and the NDRF teams have been at the site, making sure that they evacuate as many people as possible. In fact, in the morning today, the remaining part of the tail of the plane was also removed from the building. On that note, we are now slipping into a very quick break. More news coming up on the other side.
You are watching India Today.
Motorola Razr 60, dangerously cool.
Dangerously cool. Go, stop, go. Playing this game like a tic-tac-toe. Sharp as a razor, the flavor bowl. Flip it out, they wanna fold. Keeping them coming.
Motorola Razr 60, dangerously cool.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Razr 60, dangerously cool.
Hi, here are the top headlines presented by Motorola. Government forms high-level committee to probe Air India plane crash. Khadge to visit Ahmedabad, meet plane crash victims' families. Iran launches massive missile attack on Israel in retaliations.
Number 1 at 8 p.m. Number 1 at 9 p.m. All sides of the story. India Today TV, the ultimate democratic newsroom.